What's up guys, and welcome back to our F1 22 My Team Career Mode, where this time out we are going to be racing at Monza. Now last time in Netherlands, if you haven't watched that yet, we did have a DNF. Jensen Button did come home in 6th place though, so we did actually bring home some points for our team, but yeah, our engine blew up. So we'll be looking to hopefully at least finish this race. The race before that, we had a podium, and then we had a podium 2 races before that as well. So if we can try and get another podium, that would be absolutely fantastic. But looking at the race weekend here, we've had an engine upgrade as well, which is going to be good for us, especially on Monza. Looks like the weather forecast is going to be absolutely dry. We have no issues there. And then we've got an email saying next year's regulation. So we finally got the regulation email, and it looks like we're going to have regulation changes for multiple departments, and they haven't told us which ones. So we have been saving resource points. As you can see, we've got over 3,000. So we have been saving to make sure that we have enough resource points to protect any upgrades we've done. But we're heading straight into qualifying here. The lowest downforce setup we've ever run, obviously, is going to be in Monza. Pretty much, I think we've got like maybe 2 wings or something. I know a lot of people try 0 wings, but I did, and it's just way too unstable in the few corners we do have. Qualifying here is going to be pretty important. Not as important as places like Monaco or Zandvoort, but even though this is the quickest circuit in terms of being on the power for the longest, it's actually pretty difficult to overtake. So we are going to have to make sure we qualify relatively high up so we can have the best chance of being in the upper points, maybe even a podium. We'll see. And we crossed the line and we've done a 120.4. That currently puts us ahead of our teammate Button, but it looks like we are below Magnussen and Ricciardo, as George Russell sets a 119.7. So, I mean, I don't think we're too far off the pace there. As you can see, we've skipped forward a little bit, and that has put us 7th overall, but we are slower than the Hasses and Esteban Ocon in the Alpine. I'm not too worried about being slower than Lando Norris, especially as the season has progressed. Him and his McLaren have got insanely fast. Not just the McLaren, but like his driver upgrades and stuff. He's just a little bit OP at the moment. But we're on our 2nd run now. Once again, this is short qualifying, so we have got to set our fastest time in this session. You can see we're already 5 tenths up, but we come out of that corner and we have a massive oversteer moment, almost lost it into the wall, which, yeah, really would not have been good. We've already dropped down to P13 so far, but we should be able to cross the line about 4.5, 5 tenths up, and that should hopefully jump us up a little bit. So we do cross the line with a 120.0, and that puts us P7. We are currently splitting the 2 Hasses. We still need to find almost 2 tenths to be quicker than Magnussen, though. And our teammate hasn't gone out to do another run yet. We go out for our final and 3rd run. You can see coming up to the final corner, we haven't managed to find a huge amount of pace. We're like pretty much half a tenth faster. Coming out of this corner, we have found a little bit, getting on the power a bit earlier. We're probably going to cross the line about 1.5 tenths, which isn't really going to be enough. Where have we qualified? P14. And our teammate has qualified P9, almost like 4 or 5 tenths quicker than us. How has he done that? The AI have just gained so much time on their final run there. It's insane. I mean, you'll see here that I'm looking. Button, his first time as a 120.6 and his 2nd time a 119.4. Absolutely madness. But yeah, that is P14 for us. Let's see what we can do with it in the race.
We're back in Italy once again for another round of the Formula One World Championship, and what a great race in store for us today here at the oldest circuit on the calendar, which hosted its first race all the way back in 1922. With top speeds reaching 215 miles per hour, only a few places can challenge Monza's crown as the fastest track in F1. Hard braking zones going into the 3 chicanes make up the majority of the 11 corners on this 3.6-mile circuit. And just in case the slipstream wasn't enough, 2 DRS zones will help encourage some close action. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. An immense lap from Carlos Sainz yesterday puts him in pole position, and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Magnussen, Valtteri Bottas, and Button. Mick Schumacher, Paul, Perez, they've taken a grid penalty, and Lewis Hamilton, Joe, Vettel, Alex Albon and Russell, Gasly, Norris, Fernando Alonso and Esteban Ocon. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Ricciardo, Latifi, Stroll, they've taken a grid penalty, and Yuki Tsunoda. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway.
So it looks like it's not going to be as bad as we thought. There's been a lot of engine penalties, which means we're actually going to be starting this race in P8 and our teammate Button in P6. Not too bad. It looks like the personalised strategy, based on our practice times, is to go for a softer medium. So I think that's probably what we're going to do. Spice things up a bit, be a bit different to the rest of the guys. As you can see, pretty much everyone else is starting on mediums. But we line up here on our formation lap. We hopefully get the purple. Yeah, we do. 0.2 metres. That should hopefully help us on the start here. You see Carlos Sainz on pole. He'll be hoping to bring home a Ferrari win for the TIFOSI in Monza. I'm sure they would absolutely love that, although you do have Max Verstappen there in P2. He'll be trying to get the win as well. But ourselves, we have not had the best start, unfortunately. We go down the inside of Perez, who actually does hit us. We haven't got any damage, not sure about him, but that means we are still in P8. Now, obviously we started in P8 because of engine penalties for other guys, but it does mean we do have the likes of Sergio Perez and Lewis Hamilton right behind us. And they obviously are quite a bit faster than us. It looks like Magnussen up ahead is getting all out of shape. Our teammate, he might be able to try and get past him. We'll see. Maybe we can try and get past him as we get a little bit of oversteer coming out of that corner. We are eyeing up Bottas here. We almost collect him into the back of his gearbox. Can we send it down the outside here? Looks like we do try. Are we going to be able to do it? We see an outboard view here. Our teammate is going down the inside of the Haas. He is unfortunately not able to make the move, but we do make the move on Valtteri Bottas. That puts us up into P7, and we are very close to our teammate. Are we going to make a move on him? We go down the inside. Are we going to have enough straight line speed here? Looks like we should be okay. Send it down the inside, brake a little bit later. Give him enough room because, you know, we don't want to be messing with his race too much. But that is us up into P6 already now. We move on to lap 2. We have been following Magnussen pretty closely the entire of the lap. And we almost get past him into turn 1. But he positions his car just right so that we're not able to get past him. Button trying to get back past us as well, but we use enough overtake to make sure that that does not happen. Do we go for a send on Magnussen here? Not quite. We're not that brave just yet. Given we didn't actually finish last race, we don't want another situation like that. As Button looks to our inside, maybe trying to unsettle us a little bit, but we were never going to let that move happen. Still tracking Magnussen on to lap 3 now. DRS is enabled. So we should have DRS on Magnussen, although behind us you've got Sergio Perez. Like I said, he's going to be quick, and he's trying to get past our teammate here to move himself up into P7. Sends it down the inside onto turn 1. Seems like any damage he did get from colliding into us in lap 1 is not causing him too many issues, because that is him up into P7 now, which means he's behind us. Now, we do have the DRS of Magnussen, so we can use him to sort of drag us along. Bear in mind, Magnussen does have the Ferrari engine, which at this point in the season is still pretty fast. So, in terms of just straight line speed and out-dragging us, he's definitely got the advantage. Now, moving on to the end of lap 5 here, we are still hunting down Magnussen. We've not been able to make the move. There is a yellow flag. Double yellow flags by the looks of it. We've got Sergio Perez right on our tail. He's going down or outside, but he can't make the move because the safety car has come out. Both Norris and Vettel are out of session. What's happened here? We see a replay. This is Lando Norris. He goes wide. Sebastian Vettel just crashes into him. He's out of session. And Lando Norris just parks up. I'm guessing his engine has blown up. We see on board with Sebastian Vettel. Yeah, there we go. Lando Norris trying to get out of the way. His engine blows up. Goes off the track. Goes back onto the track. Collects Sebastian Vettel. And that is both their races over. Not very good, but that has caused a safety car as we decide we're going into the pits and actually overtake Magnussen into the pits, because in this game it does allow it. You're not allowed to overtake under safety car, but you can if you're in the pit lane. So that's exactly what we've done. We've overtaken him into the pits. we are going to go into the pits and go onto the hards because I think we should be able to stretch them out to the end of the race. Not sure what other people are doing. Looks like Magnussen and Perez have come in, but they've come in for the softs. So they're definitely going to be having to do a two-stop strategy here. There's no way they can make those softs last to the end. And seemingly not many other people have decided to come into the pits. Maybe they've decided it's too early. Maybe we've gone too early. We'll have to see. Hopefully we can get these tyres to the end, and hopefully they're not too slow. But yeah, you can see we're now down into P18. Safety car is in this lap. Let's see if we can maybe try and get past Latifi going into turn 1. But we're not going to go too aggressive because, like I said before, we do want to finish this race. But racing is back underway here. We're using the overtake. Look like we got a pretty decent exit. We are faster than Latifi. We go down the inside here. How late is he going to brake? Clearly a lot earlier than us, and we end up braking a lot later than Stroll, as I think he has a lock-up there trying to avoid crashing into Tsunoda and Alonso. But what that does mean is we've made 2 positions into turn 1 from 18th to 16th, so that is going to help us because we did not want to be stuck behind those guys for too long. As we see a replay here of us going down the inside of Pierre Gasly, no, that must be Tsunoda, yeah. Yuki Tsunoda, so we've made up to P15 as well. We've got Albon and Alonso going side by side into turn 1. No contact made there. Can we try and get past them? We'll have to see. We had a little bit of wheel spin coming out of the corner, but we've got so much more straight line speed than him. This is crazy. I know we're using the overtake, but did not expect to be that much faster. We take the outside line, and Albon actually sends it down the inside and gets himself past Alonso. So through us trying to overtake him, he ends up actually making an overtake himself, as I think we actually made a little bit of contact with the back of Alonso there, but it doesn't matter too much because we now get onto the straight. We don't have DRS because that hasn't been enabled yet, but it doesn't matter. We have enough speed to be able to send it down the inside, and that is us up past the Alpine. Next in our sights is obviously Albon. You got Ocon. I thought he's going into the pits. He's not. He's just defending, and it's now what, 3 wide? We got Russell in there as well, and we just got so much straight line speed, we go past all of them. We managed to brake late enough to get past Ocon, and what was that, 4, 5 cars? Yeah, 4 cars we overtake into turn 1. You see Ocon had a lock-up, so that's probably how we managed to get past him. But there is a yellow flag, and that is the Ferrari of Carlos Sainz, the man who was on pole, who would have dearly loved to win this race. You can see he's under pressure from Charles Leclerc. So this is a replay of what happened. He's under pressure from Charles Leclerc. Leclerc sends it down the inside, and Sainz just has a lock-up, trying to defend, I guess. And he's in the gravel. So not too bad for Ferrari, because they've still got Charles Leclerc in the lead, I suppose. But a 1-2 would have been much nicer for the Tifosi. But it's not to be, unfortunately. On to lap 9, you see we were under a bit of pressure from Russell. But we've managed to stay ahead. Lap 12, there's a yellow flag. Schumacher's engine is blown up now, so that promotes us up into P8. Bear in mind, everyone else still has to pit. I know we do have 14 or so laps to go, but everyone else does still have to pit, and we are pretty much right there in the pack. So I think we could be on for some pretty high points. Here we go, lap 13. A lot of people have come in. Everyone has come in, apart from Zhou Guanyu and our teammate Button in first and second. So that means that by the time they come in, because Ocon and Russell haven't come in either, we'll be leading the race. Yeah, there we go. Lap 14, we are leading the Italian Grand Prix. Everyone else is into the pits. We just got to wait now and see what the gap is between us and, I'm guessing, Charles Leclerc. Yeah, there he is. He comes through, and it's about 12 seconds. So we've got 13 laps to try and stay ahead of Charles Leclerc, because at this point, we might as well try and win this race with our strategy of coming in with the safety car, putting on the hards very early, but it seems to have done the job because we are leading this race. Our teammate is in P3. He does have Hamilton and Bottas very close behind him, though, so he's going to be under a fair bit more pressure than we are. Actually, he does not have Hamilton because he's just come into the pits. Now, skipping ahead to lap 18, Leclerc is now only 8 seconds behind us. Button has got Verstappen to be dealing with. About 5 seconds in it, he might be able to hold on to it. It will be tricky, yeah. That Red Bull in the hands of Verstappen is very fast, but we are focused solely on winning this race. We have 8 seconds that we need to keep between ourselves and Leclerc as we set a purple sector 1. That shows you just how hard we are concentrating at this point. We cannot make any mistakes at all in the next laps until the end of the race. On to lap 21. The gap is now 6.3 seconds. Leclerc is quickly gaining on us, but the rate he's gaining on us, I think we might just be able to do it. I mean, even if Leclerc does get past us, we're pretty much guaranteed P2. I don't think Button or Verstappen are going to be able to catch up to us. But how nice would it be to have a race win in our first season? We do not have the car for it. It is not fast enough to win a race on its own accord, but our strategy plays has put us in the position that we might be able to come home with a race win. I'm sure the Ferrari fans, the Italians, the Tifosi would absolutely hate us if we did win this race, because we would be denying Charles Leclerc a race win at the team's home race. But lap 24, the gap was 4 seconds. Lap 25, 3.5 seconds as Charles Leclerc sets the fastest lap. He is coming for us. He is certainly coming for us, but we are just about holding on to the pace. Lap 26, 2.7 seconds. Lap 27, 1.8 seconds. I think we've got it. I know the AI are fast on their final laps, but I think we should be okay. Going on to these final few corners, Leclerc has gained a whole second on us already. He is 0.7 seconds behind us. We can see him in our rear view mirrors here. But I think we're going to have the pace to do it. It's going to be tight. It is certainly going to be tight as we jump onto the outboard view here. Round the final corner. Leclerc is so close to us. We need a good exit here. Leclerc has run out of ERS, so he's not going to be able to do it. And that's it. We have brought home a race win.
Fantastic drive. That's just fantastic. Amazing. You deserve that race win. Well done, mate. And with that, another year of Formula One draws to a close and a new World Drivers' Champion is declared. Another entry added to that prestigious list of the sport's most incredible drivers. Anthony Davidson, what helped them deliver this result, do you think?
Well, when you overtake that many people, I'd certainly hope you'd win the race. Their car was really effective in the slipstream here today, and the team will be pleased that they didn't cook the engine, given how long they were spending in the hot air behind other cars. They had a lot of confidence to push their tyres hard as well, especially going into the corners, which allowed for some late braking and some exciting passes.
A show-stopping performance from the 3 drivers approaching the podium right now. It's been an interesting Grand Prix, that's for sure.
So there we have it, a thrilling F1 race at Monza, where we bring home the race win for our first win of the season. Probably going to be our only win unless something crazy like this happens again. So we'll savour it while we can, but it's also our first double podium because Jenson Button did actually hold on, keep Max Verstappen behind. So that is a double podium for the team, and I'm just showing you here just how concentrated we were. Those last few laps, we were so consistent in our lap times, but yeah, we did deny Charles Leclerc a race win, but he did win his championship here. So I suppose he can take that. It's not too bad. He does win his Drivers' World Championship in front of the home crowd. But in terms of driver standings, Jenson Button has had a massive boost up. He's now actually next to us in P8 with 72 points. Ourselves 128, only 1 behind Max Verstappen once again. Constructors' standings, we are well ahead now. 200 points to Alpine's 105. I don't think Alpine or anyone else is going to be catching us for 4th in the constructors' standings. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, all that fantastic stuff, and make sure to turn on the bell notification icon so you don't miss our next race in Singapore.